Today is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. It's about 3 in the afternoon. We spent most of the day driving down from Crater Lake National Park, but we've got time for one good hike. So we're going to do the Kings Creek Falls Trail. I'm sure this hike looked different before the Dixie Fire. These are the falls I saw from the bridge, but I don't think these are the actual Kings Creek Falls. We're not at the end of the trail yet. Well, again, these are some nice falls, but I don't think these are the Kings Creek Falls because there's no overlook here. Ah, yes, we have found the scenic overlook. Now that is a waterfall. I've hiked a lot of trails, but this is the first time I've seen a one-way hiking trail. The route back is a one-way hiking trail shortcut that goes right along Kings Creek. You can see the trail, people walking along it. What a hike! This reminds me of the Mist Trail at Yosemite National Park, which also had steps on a hike right beside a waterfall. And the Mist Trail was our favorite hike of all time. We continue to wind our way south toward the south entrance to the park, but we stopped here at Sulphur Works and we're going to look at some mud pots. Wow. I guess that's why they call this place the Little Yellowstone. Today is Thursday, September 14th, 2023. We spent last night in Redding, California, and this morning we're heading back to the south entrance to Lassen Volcanic National Park. We decided to go back to the south side because that's where all the good stuff is, including Bump Ass Hell. Lassen Volcanic National Park is the 30th national park that we visited, so we've seen a lot of park signs. Only a handful have something unique about them. For example, North Cascades has the Liberty Bell Peak, and Black Canyon of the Gunnison has a design of a dark, narrow canyon. Here at the south entrance of Lassen, the sign has a line that represents Lassen Peak. So this is one of our favorite park signs. The trail takes us past Lassen Peak and beautiful Helen Lake. High temperature in Redding this afternoon is going to be 101 degrees. But here at Lassen, the high is only going to be 68. Probably only 50 miles away as the crow flies. But that's the difference in 6,000 feet of elevation gain. There's a doe with 2 fawns. Those are black-tailed deer. They're not whitetails like we have in Nebraska. Got its name because an early mountaineer named Kendall Bumpus said when he got to this area, he turned around and all of a sudden, all the wonders of hell were before his eyes. When we were in Death Valley, I took some salt from the salt flats at Badwater Basin. That night I put it in my beer and I drank it. And when we were at Crater Lake, I cupped my hand, I got some water from the lake, and I drank it. But I am not going to ingest anything from that place down there. Kendall Bumpus will always be famous for discovering this area, but the story goes that one day he took a misstep and had to have his leg amputated. In the 1930s, a teenage boy wanted to have his picture taken here. he took one step backward, and as Paul Harvey would say, he was only 16 years old. There is the famous Lassen Peak, and up at the top you can see a small glacier. It used to be a large glacier. And that, my friend, is global warming. Okay, I think this might be our last hike at Lassen Volcanic National Park. We are hiking to Cold Boiling Lake. While we're hiking, I'll just mention that Lassen Peak is a volcano. But unlike Crater Lake, which erupted 7,000 years ago, Lassen's most recent eruption was about 1915. It was not nearly as large of an eruption, but there are actual photographs of Lassen Peak erupting back then. I should also mention that the park is named after Peter Lassen. The lady down at the visitor center said, "Oh, he was a famous trader. Not like a trader to our country, but like a trader with the Native Americans." I said, "Yeah, I understand." So the name Cold Boiling Lake is obviously a contradiction. The story behind it is that this is a cold water lake. We're at 8,500 feet, but the water looks like it's boiling. That's because the geothermal activity happening below the surface is releasing tiny bubbles of gas, and those gases are trying to escape through the water, and that makes the cold water look like it's boiling. Hiking back to our car. Goodbye, Lassen Volcanic National Park.